cards at all. You gotta make sure they're both in the box at least for a few seconds. Ryan.
Two fold, three fold, five fold, six fold, seven fold, eight fold, nine fold.
I can hear me very faint.
10 all in.
Oh.
Testing these microphones. Testing. Give me just a few seconds and see if that pops up. Mic check. 20 minutes on the clock.
All in pot on table 4. Eric Johnson has got queens. He is in the lead up against sixes for Kevin Selby. And Jamie Meyer made the call. He's got them both covered with ace jack off.
Seconds.
Flop is queen in the window. 4-3 top set for Eric. This is going to be hard to beat. 7 of clubs on the turn. Now a club would win it. Deuce of spades. Set of queens for Eric Jousted. Triple up.
Five ball.
I'm ahead of
Six
you.
raise, 25. Seven, re-raise, 6K. 8 fold. 9 fold. 10 fold. 1
So
fold.
this is way long.
Couple minutes.
So that's way too long. Let's do this. I'm gonna shut this down again.
5, re-raise, 12K.
Thing, the microphone. Mic
We're all in
check.
action. Looks like Selby's all in. 10 to hearts up against King 5 off. Flop is King, Jack 3. He's behind now. Ace on the turn. He needs
Ace
a queen.
King against Ace Queen.
4 on the river.
Just some delay issue in the
Pair
audio
kings.
we're working on.
But
We got Darwin who made a 4-bet pre-flop here. See what Jeremy wants to do with his Ace King unsuited.
Jeremy made it 6K here, and he min click.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
And he's pushing it all
Yeah,
in.
5-bet jam.
Take away all the guesswork here. Push and pray, I like to say.
Darwin here, big decision. 19,000 more for him to call.
He's on the big stack. He's getting the count here. I think he's going to end up calling this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 19 more for him to call, I believe. Or 24, yeah. There's 24K from the call. There's 53 in the pot.
It's like 15% of his stack, so he's going to gamble here. But he's going to see the bad news is dominated.
Flop comes 9, deuce, 7. Jeremy does not want to see a queen. 6 on the turn, so he just needs to avoid a queen here on the river to double up. And it's a 10, so ace king high for Jeremy. Could be good for the double up. So once again, this is flight 1A here of the Frozen Frosty. We started at 11 a.m. this morning. This is currently level 7. There is our limited re-entry as well as late entry, open through the first 12 levels of each flight. Tomorrow we are expecting a larger crowd. Flight 1B will be also starting at 11 a.m. All players will combine Sunday. We're playing down to 15% of each flight. And once we hit 15%, the clock will be stopped, and those players coming back on Sunday will be in the money. So if you're looking to get into today's flight, you have until approximately 6:45 tonight. Or like I said, tomorrow, flight B will be at 11 a.m.
And late registration closes at the same time tomorrow night.
Right after dinner break. Approximately 6:45. We also have a last chance to do on Sunday. It's a $200 buyout starting at day 2 will start at 11.
5 fold, 6 fold.
Plenty of action to be had here all weekend.
9 fold. 10 call. 1 fold. 2 raise. 24.
Looks like we got Colness limping in with Jack 7 offsuit. And Ryan's going to raise out of the small blind with King 8.
Looks like Edward back around to T-Cole, he called as well. So 3 players to the block. Flop comes 6, 9, 5. T-Cole's got as does Ryan. Edward has the best hand at the bottom here. Ryan fires 3K. Edward makes the call. And T-Cole calls as well. Turn is a 10 of hearts. So Ryan now, along with his gut shot, he's got a flush draw. He's going to continue his story here. I believe it's going to be a bet to take it, but I don't know. T-Cole does have a 2-way straight draw now.
3K is a
3K
small
only,
bet.
well, it's a very small bet. Yeah, I would expect it to be a bigger bet there. I mean, you gladly take it down. But they're both going to call. So if Ryan can't hit a 7 or a heart here, he's going to be left with just
King high, yep.
4 on the river there. So somehow Edwards has the best hand. Ryan shuts down.
If T-Cole can make a move
Yep.
here, oh, and he does. He
Wow.
goes all in, which is a great play. If it works or not, it's probably going to work. It's gotta
Oh
work.
yeah, it's got to work.
Wow, he had a plan.
Great play there by T-Cole.
Yeah. Well done.
That's how he likes his steak, too. Well done. Just like Kyle Carrick. Pot Limit Omaha champion at last. Was that already? Was that just last weekend?
2 weekends ago, we had our Pot Limit Omaha championship event. The vast majority of our tournaments are no limit hold'em, but we do sprinkle in a couple mixed games here and there throughout the year.
Did you know I taught T-Cole what Jack 4 is?
You did, huh?
He didn't know that. What's a Jack 4? That's how he didn't.
Edward. I don't know what he's doing.
All in pot on table 2, yesterday's champion. Troy Allen, as always, he's got a couple ducks, but he ran into a pair of 7s for Vinny Racine, so he needs some help to keep his
What did Ryan bet?
championship magic alive.
Ryan's got
Flop is King, King 4. 10 on the turn, he needs a deuce. King on the river, full house for Vinny.
Can't imagine.
Good for the knockout.
Darwin's in the call. He's got a gutter. He's got, you know, backdoor cards. Deuce.
We have sensors in the box,
So we can only catch a 10 here to make the best hand. Brian's got position here.
I check.
to the table.
3K.
Darwin checks and Ryan wasting no time.
It's like a massive computer.
5 call.
Typically, Ryan's style is to act
Okay.
very quickly.
Oh yeah. So if Darwin calls here, I mean, he can only catch a 10. I can't imagine if he doesn't. He's just going to check it, and I bet Ryan will check back here. Unless he's got a plan to try to steal it here. He does.
35.
Wow. I don't think it's going to work. Depends on what the bet size is as well too. But yeah, not enough. 3,500. Ryan easily calls. Yeah, but the top is 20K. I bet 3,500.
Yeah. He's getting the right odds no matter what there. You gotta bet a little bigger if you're gonna make that move.
Yeah, that's awesome.
7-fold, 8-fold, 9-fold, 10-fold. 1 call, 2 call, 3 fold, 5 call, 6 check.
Darwin picks up the king queen again. He's gonna give it another try.
So it looks like this was a 4-way limped pot pre-flop.
Just a check. 1 check.
Flop comes 4, 5, 7.
5 fold,
Ryan's got the best hand here. He bets 3K.
1 call.
Skylar makes the call. He's got bottom pair. And Christian makes the call as well here. He can make a straight with 6.
6 check.
Turn is an ace. 2 pair now for Ryan. I believe. Oh, Ryan checked it. Wow.
He's classically acting weak when he's strong.
Queen on the river.
6 check.
So Skylar's left still with bottom pair. Christian has nothing, so I'm sure it's going to be
1 bet,
Wow,
6K, 2 raise, 25,000, 6 fold.
Christian bets 6K and Ryan raised to 25K there. Easily to take it. So that was a good check on the turn here by Ryan. Got this action on the river. If he would have fired there in the turn, it would have been it. That would have been the end of the ballgame.
He picks up an extra 6K by being sneaky there.
You know what they say about being sneaky, right, Tim?
Yep.
What? Right. You love to see it. You really do.
All right, on to the next hand.
On to the next one, folks.
Scotty, who's got a suited ace here.
Ooh, what's a flat tire? What's a jack for?
Oh, he's got it. He knows what to do with it.
Oh,
2 call, 3 fold, 5 fold,
let's see his hand.
6 fold, 7 check.
So this is another limped pot here, pre-flop, 4 players.
Check, 8 check.
Flop comes ace, 4, deuce, Scott Mendrow. By far the best hand.
Ryan's got a straight draw here. He loves to peel in these spots.
Yeah, I mean, he would love to catch a 3 here, obviously, because he's hoping somebody else will have a 5, and he's going to have a horrible spot then 5-6, but it's not the scenario here. So he's going to need to catch a 3 here to make the best hand. 3 on the turn, of course.
But Scotty does pick up the nut flush draw, so
Wow,
I
what a
believe
card,
he
yeah.
will continue here. And he's short.
Oh, yep.
Looks like
He's packing up the troops. He moves them in for Ryan. I'm sure he's going to insta-call. He hasn't already. He called. Scott tables his hand, so he's going to need to catch a spade here on the river. He's got any spade can do it. Queen of spades to make the nuts.
What a suck-resuck situation
For
that
Scott
was.
Mandreau.
And that's the danger of playing that semi-weak hand. You hit your hand and you still end up losing. So that'll heal Scotty right back up to above starting stack.
Scott Mandreau, I think he's in Williston, North Dakota. I think that's where he's from.
He's out west somewhere, definitely, yep. He's made a few final tables on some two-day events.
I think he recently said he had LASIK eye surgery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's pretty excited about that. You can see the cards better now.
Absolutely. I thought about getting LASIK eye surgery too, but I'm just too scared. Too terrified.
I think technology is catching up.
Sure. Yeah, that's what they say. They do so many procedures a day that it's just like routine. It's like the dentist, but it still just scares the crap out of me.
Jaden had it done.
My sister had it done too.
Oh yeah? I've had family members have it done. I think about it, yeah. It'd be nice.
What?
Got horrible vision.
I've got a horrible vision, folks.
Runs in the family. My son has yet to get glasses. I got him in 4th grade. He's a sophomore in high school.
I had him in grade school too.
He's a
So
lucky kid.
T-Cole here makes it 2K with Ace Jack. He's isolated here against an opponent. He is dominated with Jack 10, so great scenario here. Flop comes Ace, Queen, Deuce.
Great flop for T-Cole.
He's going to bet 2K, and Christian does make the call. He needs a king for Broadway, or he can get backdoor cards like backdoor clubs. There's a 3 of clubs, so he's got the 10 of clubs here. They go check on the turn.
T-Cole checks back immediately.
King on the river, wow.
I'm not sure what would have happened if T-Cole bet the turn, but I would have preferred him to make a bet, obviously, knowing what the cards are. It's easy to say.
So I think Christian's just going to check call here because there's a flush draw out there. T-Cole bet 5,600. I think he's betting for value here, right? With ace jack?
Yeah. I don't think he's turning it into a bluff.
So Christian, though, I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's thinking about it honestly, whether he can jam here or whether he needs to just call.
Yeah, no scenario he's folding.
Right.
One raise, 16,000.
Raising, yep, he raises.
What did 10
I
back?
think he made a 15,000.
Yep, he's not afraid of the flush.
My bad.
So he's putting T-Cole in a weird spot.
16,000. Yeah, tough spot there for T-Cole. Christian played it pretty weird, so it's hard to put him on that hand. He does make the call, yeah, but it's just too hard to put him on. Jack 10. Especially when T-Cole's got ace jack, so.
Unfortunate river there for T-Cole. He had the blocker the whole way. And that'll leave T-Cole with right around 20,000 left. You start with 30,000 in this tournament.
Tenfold. One fold. 2 raise, 47.
Ryan's got 10-7 of hearts here.
And we did see Skylar fold ace deuce of hearts from under the gun.
7.
Did he?
8 fold. 9 fold.
So Ryan's going to raise it up to 4,700 here with 10-7, get everybody to fold. Great play by Ryan.
Picked up the nuts, made a bet, took it down. Classic case of aggression paying off. As you can see, we're pretty deep here. Everybody working with a decent amount of blinds.
One call. 2 call.
Scott Mindro picked up a premium here in the small blind.
Yeah, limped around here. I don't blame him for not wanting to raise out of the small blind there. I mean, it's
Tricky spot,
Yeah,
definitely.
small blind is definitely one of the hardest spots to play. You know, you need to be first act after the flop.
25.
As we see, Christian picked up top pair. He's going to make a bet.
7, 12.
Do you think Scott's going to call here? He's got some backdoor cards, you know, 2 overs.
He did
No,
not.
he will not. Don't blame him. Lost the minimum.
Two, raise.
Take one, I need your cards.
5,000. 3, fold.
Still see one.
Not many playable hands here.
Well,
Scott.
you're going up next hand, 500, 1,000. With a 1,000 big blind.
Yeah, let him just sit there for a second and then you can.
1 next hand.
Client raised to 5,000 under the gun with 4 deuce.
9, fold. 10, fold.
Did Skyler fold 7s? I think he did.
Seat 7's in, right?
I think we got it messed up. Our graphic. It says the 6-5 is playing, but I believe Skyler's playing his 7.
Okay, yeah.
Must be just a misclick.
I don't know how to fix that. But I have 7 in
Ryan's
and
going to
6
continue.
out.
Bet 5,000. Skyler is going to see a turn here. Like I said, he's got pocket 7s. And the board's probably just going to get trickier and trickier with those 2 7s. I don't expect Ryan to slow down.
Wow. Well, so it's 7s. Is it Jeremy in there or Skyler?
Skyler.
Skyler, okay.
Yep.
He's got 7s.
Yep, and he calls again. Ryan makes the same bet on the turn as he did the flop.
2, bet 10K.
This hand here on our
And Ryan's going to continue to scary.
7s. Oh, Jeremy. 6-5.
Yes.
And it worked,
Everything
actually.
we figured.
He fired 3 times at that with 4 deuce, got him to fold out the river, and he shows the table. This time.
What happened in that hand was she accidentally clicked fold or on the wrong person, so we had the wrong person's hand. So the chip counts are going to be off. Fun fact, we've got Travis Stitch in the box now. Fun fact about Travis is he is the Guinness World Record holder for the most accurate card thrower in the world, the fastest card thrower in the world, and the highest chip stack.
I remember seeing the chip stack thing.
Yeah.
That's where I saw him too. I knew it.
So-
that was at Canterbury Park, right?
That was at Canterbury,
He had
and that was actually like a group thing. So my name's in it, my son's name's in it, because we all went and put in 5. So we had like 30 people, each put in like 5 chips, and then he took over and went the rest of the way. So all of our names are in the Guinness record. And
that is very cool.
he's going to he's trying to get the longest endurance dealing record, but he can't find a casino that will cooperate because of gaming rules, because of
Liabilities.
yeah, and what's it called? The strikers, the unions.
Sure.
You know, so he can't find any casino that will let him come in and deal for 36 hours straight, because unions won't allow that.
That's wild.
Otherwise,
Pretty cool.
otherwise the venues will just say, no, he wants to do this. You
Yeah.
know, so he has to go to a place where he's not employed and do it as a person, not as a paid dealer. And he still can't find any casinos that will allow him to do it.
Wow, that's cool. I remember with Phil Locke,
I'm like, why are you turning your hands over
session
then?
playing.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, every hour you get a 5-minute break.
Correct. And you can
build
bank
them
You
up.
can bank them. So
Is
you
that
can
the
deal,
same with
Yeah,
this?
so you can deal for 10 hours and then take a 50-minute break.
Sure.
And that counts. And Phil Locke's record just got broken by a guy out of Minnesota that I play with.
I saw him on Twitter too, talking about he wanted to break that record.
Yeah, and
that's
he
pretty
did
impressive. I'd say it'd be a lot harder to sit there and deal for 10 hours straight than it
Oh,
would be
yes.
to play.
Yeah, because you've got to focus. And then what type of game is it going to be? Just a 1-2 cash game for 36 hours? So here we've got a hand. 4s against 10s on a 7, 9, a jack with an ace of clubs. You got king, queen in there also. Ooh, Coldness hits trip 10s, but it gives Ryan the Broadway. And Tyler is sent to the registration desk to fire another bullet.
As is
Ryan is
a double knockout there. Both guys were on a short stack.
2 seats open.
Yikes. Tico had it all the way.
Ryan's
Even
up
at a flush
at
draw.
153,000 chips.
He's heating up. He's a very volatile player.
Average right now is 51,000, so he's got 3 times the average. And again, this is Eric Anderson with the feature table, streaming the $365 Spirit Lake tournament for Roughrider Poker Tour. They call this a Frozen Frosty this weekend. I'm in the booth with Keith Lauder.
Hello, Eric. Nice to see you again.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
We had a couple of audio issues earlier, but we fixed all of that, and we're streaming great.
Awesome.
That's why we test. I want to have issues in level 4 instead of at the final table.
Of course, yeah. Get rid of those bugs early, and hopefully Saturday and Sunday is smooth sailing for everyone.
Yes, yes. Christian Blake with the ace jack on the button. We're going to get a few new players at this table. Ryan up at 153,000 chips.
Very nice stack.
1 call. 2 calls.
5 starting stacks already here in level
8.
low 8.
Uh-oh, Scott's in trouble. He's got top pair against Christian's better kicker. Christian looks down, do I really have ace jack? And I do.
He just makes the call there.
Oh! Wow. So he goes from ahead to open-ended.
Yeah, interesting card. Scott Mandreau now 2 pair.
He needs a 7, a 10 to counterfeit him, a queen or a 7 for a straight, and a jack to get a higher 2 pair. All in.
And Scott,
Oh,
yeah.
you got a call, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to hit top pair and then
Yeah.
turn more outs.
Yeah, he's got so much equity. He's got 47,000 chips. It's going to cost him 21 of those to call. I mean, that's a lot of chips, but Doyle says don't go broke with 1 pair.
Or a queen in your hand.
Yeah. He needs a queen to get out of this. A queen, a 7, a jack, a 10. He's got a lot of outs. 13 outs up at the top, and you can see only the 7 of hearts has been mucked. So everything else is live. He's got 13 live outs. He's a slight underdog at 38% to Scott's 62%. It's going to cost him 21,000. The pot is 45,000 right
Yeah,
now.
this is a big spot for Christian. I don't mind either play, to be honest. And he does give it up.
He lets it go. All right.
He realizes that card could definitely bring in a lot of hands better than Ace Jack. And he doesn't chase
He's
team
behind every set.
He is.
He's behind all the 2 pairs. He had outs to everything, but I don't hate the fold, honestly.
No, yeah.
I don't know if I could have done it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, he's still got a very healthy 47 big blinds.
There we
here.
see Darwin 3 irons in the 5 seat. He final tabled with me last night.
Oh wow, nice weekend so far for Darwin, and he's got a great stack already.
He's got a great stack. Did you hear that little sick, humble brag that I final tabled last night?
I did hear it. Congratulations.
I want to slip that in there. However, watching the final table was very anticlimactic. I had a 0 VPIP after 20 hands.
Ooh.
I don't think I've ever had a 0 VPIP in my life.
Well, sometimes you get dealt the 9 deuce offsuit over and over, and that's going to keep that VPIP at 0.
1 to 2,500.
Christian right back at it with 2 9s.
3 fold. 5.
I love Ryan's game.
His game is all over the
9
place.
3 of clubs. Let's go. You can't put him on a hand.
Never.
Tray 6 deuce.
Yeah,
this will get Ryan in trouble.
It is good enough for Ryan to continue.
And he's only got 1 out. He needs exactly the 3 of diamonds. The 3 of hearts has been disposed of.
2,500.
See, that's a good card for Ryan if he wants to try to turn his hand into a bluff now.
Definitely could.
But he just makes the call.
That's another straight comes home. I mean, if you have a 5, it's just going to go check. And Christian's going to show him the best hand.
He's happy to have 9s hold up after that run out for sure.
Yeah. I really don't know if I put Ryan on an ace at all because his range is so wide.
Definitely.
Did you want to jump back in?
Yeah.
Raises to 2,000 here.
1 raises to 2.
So picking the action back up here, Christian Blake coming off that hand with 2 9s. He's got 2 red kings. Skylar Sand with pocket 4s. Ryan Yannick, see if he wants to play spoiler with the 6-5 offsuit. He's going to 3-bet it to 3,000. Skylar calls, and now it's open back up to Christian, who can make a big 4-bet here. And he does indeed. 14,000. That's the trouble of the small min click 3-bet from 2K to 3K by Ryan. I guess it's going to help him lose the minimum too. So Christian Blake puts the hammer down, takes the pot with pocket kings.
I know.
So once again, hi guys, Keith Lauder back in the booth with you. Jerry Sorrells will be joining me shortly. Tim is back out on the main floor. We are firing up some live game action. So come on down. If you can't make it to the tournament, plenty of live games will be available all evening long. We'll see you at Spirit Lake Casino and Resort.
10 fold. 1 call. 2 calls. 3 fold.
How's that sound?
5
Are you
calls.
listening? All right, we've got Skylar Sand with the ace king in the small blind. Sounds good. Okay, sounds good. All right. So what I'm going to do, keep that on for just a second. I'm going to switch our microphones from the snowball. I'm going to switch it back.
2 calls.
If that changes anything.
You're doing much better.
I missed the action. Looks like Ryan called, and then Skylar took it away from him on the flop with his ace
nice
king.
play there for Skylar. Ryan did flop a pair of 9s.
How did you get? You want to turn that off, otherwise it'll feed back here. How do you get Ryan to fold when he flops a pair? 46 minutes to break. This isn't the dinner break, is it?
No, this will be another 15-minute break. We'll come back and play levels 10 through 12 and then a 60-minute
Then do
break.
an hour-long dinner break. Got it. Sounds great. 30K starting stack, 30-minute levels, $365 buy-in here at Spirit Lake Casino and Resort, just south of Devil's Lake, North Dakota, with the Roughrider Poker Tour. Lots of good hands. We've got the Ace Queen suited under the gun. Ace
All in
Jack.
pot. Table 5. Haley's on. She's got
Skylar.
King 9 of diamonds, but she just ran into big slick. Ace King for Nick.
6 races.
Flop
Ryan has
is
2
King,
cards, and that's
10,
enough.
10.
2 cards indeed.
He could have a napkin and a Uno card. He would be in there.
7 folds.
And a 10 on the river. Full house for each of them. Choppy.
He did well in Denver last month, the final table.
He did. That was a hot couple days. He did some sort of modified chop on the final table for about 24,000 or something, and then
Good weekend.
he and his girlfriend, who is one of our dealers, they got third place in the tag team a few days later.
Nice. Same event?
That
Or a
was,
different place?
That was at the same place.
Still Colorado?
Yeah.
All right.
10 chips.
How far is it now? Does he live in Bismarck?
He lives in Williston. I don't know if he is
Okay.
located around Minot now, but the last I know, he was living
10
in
checks. 1
Williston.
check. 2 checks.
All right, we've got a bunch of checking going on
10-9
here.
for Ryan Lane in the lead with top 2 pair.
Wow, he's just hoping somebody fires on it. And
Everybody
Skylar
else drawing.
obliges
Yeah.
with his ace jack.
And Ryan, as unorthodox as his game is, he loves the check raise.
Yes, he just called though.
And he's so active that players always pay him off, and he shows
Oh,
up.
I'm wrong. He did check raise to 18.
He did. He did. And it's hard to...
Oh, yeah. If
know.
if Skylar had a piece of it, he would call him, but just ace high is just maybe not enough. It's a perfect bet, though. I think I'm peeling with 2 overcards. Yeah, against Ryan with 2 overcards, you got to hope you don't hit.
That is a scary card for Ryan,
Seven
but he's
makes
not
a
afraid
straight.
to move all in.
No. I would have liked to see a value bet in this spot. He really...
Yeah, after this run out, you're only getting called by better hands at 10-9.
It's good. It's 7.
I mean, there was 60 in the pot. If he makes it 10 more, he might get called by ace high or by up pair if he had something.
That's true. Small bet could induce a bluff also from Skylar.
Ryan's up at the top with 165,000 chips. Galen just under a starting stack at 25,500.
You're cutting over on the flop.
Blinds are now 500, 1,000 with a 1,000 big blind Annie. We got Travis Stitch in the box.
On the board.
Look at that pitch.
All the way from Forest Lake, Minnesota, making his RPT dealing debut, and we're happy to
I
have him.
don't know what the cards are supposed to be.
Oh, sure. I hadn't been told to watch out
Okay,
for
cool.
that.
Then it's fine.
Let me know if there's
Pocket 9s for Ryan. Darwin in the hijack has ace jack. I can see some fireworks again. Big stacks too.
3 folds, 5 calls, 6 folds, 7 folds, 9
Ryan makes it 3.9. Darwin calls.
Tell me what the
Action
flop
folds around. We're heads up to the flop.
Say again.
Say the flop out loud.
4 clubs, 4 hearts, 10 clubs,
10-4-4. That's a great flop for Ryan.
Very good.
5 calls.
10K in the pot. What do you think? 6? Oh, bet
Looks
4
like a bet
call.
and a quick call with the overs and an ace on the turn for Darwin.
Ooh, okay.
Both players pick up flush
They
draws.
have the
Ryan
flush draw.
is null and void with his 9 high.
8,000.
He needs exactly a 9. There's
But that club is definitely going to have
I think Ryan will fold.
Ryan come along. He does. Looks like a min
flush.
click. Yeah, both players
Yep.
make a flush.
Ryan bet 4, Darwin made it 8, Ryan called, the flush comes home, they both have one. Check, check. Darwin 3 irons picks up
One's good.
a 34,000 chip
Yeah,
pot.
I don't mind that check back from Darwin.
No.
Considering how aggressive Ryan is, you don't want to bet the third nut flush and then get check raised.
And it's a paired
Be in
board.
a tough spot for sure.
I mean, you could easily have a boat. You could,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. You said the king beats him, the queen beats him, any boat beats him. That's a good check behind. Especially when you're 1 and 2.
Definitely.
You
In
gotta put your
chips.
cards on there first. Yeah.
There's better
Leave them
spots
on
that you
there just for
can
a second,
pick.
And then you can look it up.
Ryan, ace king.
They're giving him the hands.
Oh my
He
goodness.
loves
And
to
once
play.
they're on
They're
there,
giving
you
him the
don't even
hands to
keep
play.
them on there.
That's not fair.
4,500, 3 folds. 5 calls.
And Christian Blake in the big blind
9 folds.
with Queen Jack is probably. So Ryan makes it 4,500. Darwin has a plan here. He just called 4,500 with Queen High. That's going to bring Christian in. We've got 3 players to a flop. Ryan's got the best of it. Ace, deuce, 7. Ryan is way out ahead.
Yeah, nothing for the other
No,
two players
Christian
here.
and Darwin both need running cards. That's one of them for Christian. He needs a king now.
Yeah, king would be a disastrous cooler card.
One bet's 2,500.
Giving Ryan top 2.
raises to 9,000.
Christian's going to represent.
5 folds.
Bet 2,500, kind of a blocker bet.
Yeah.
Ryan doesn't let him see that for cheap.
does
He's like,
bounce.
no, make it 9,000.
Oh, that was 1.
Christian tried to slow him down with that bet, and it did not work.
Button's good. It's 10.
Shows him his gut shot, straight draw, and Ryan's eyebrows went up. Like, oh, that's what you had. I'm going to try something between hands right now. So I should be able to click on one of these and it should pop up on the screen, and there it is. All right, it does work. Let's get rid of it now.
80% VPIP for Ryan. That's not surprising. That's one of the highest stats I've ever seen in this feature table.
80% is ridiculously high. Voluntarily putting money in the pot, 4 out of 5 hands.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
2 bets, 5,000.
Standard is 20. A loose player might be 30 or 40. Ryan's at 80% in the last
and that's
21
hands in, yeah.
So
5 folds.
what's the math on that? He folded 4 times?
Right.
Out of 21 hands, he's folded 4 times.
Just so I can see it, just in case.
For sure.
Pre-flop raising, he leads the pack with 30%.
Button's good in seat 1.
Let's pull up these stats. 30% pre-flop raising. There's no surprise here. Aggression frequency, and Ryan's right up there at 53%. And like we said, VPIP, he's at 80% with Christian behind him at 50. And down here, Jeremy Scott around 19, 23. That's more normal. Galen and Edward just haven't had the cards to get in it, mix it around, especially with Ryan and Christian raising every other hand.
For sure. Sometimes you're just handcuffed between a couple players with a lot of chips.
6 folds.
Speaking of Jeremy, he's got pocket jacks in the hijack.
7 raises to
Pocket jacks in the hijack.
9 folds, 10 folds, 1 fold.
He's going to make it 3,000 to go. Ryan with the Queen 10.
No surprise that he wants to come
He'll
along.
make the call, getting a small discount from the small blind. Comes out 4, 5, 6. He's got the Queen High flush draw. It's going to go check, check. There it is.
Wow.
7 ball. He's living
What a
right.
board.
We need the 3 of hearts to chop it. Ryan bets 4K. Jeremy immediately folds.
That is a ugly board texture for 2 jacks.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of hearts.
So Ryan going to add to his stack and add to his aggression statistics.
Speaking of adding to stacks, let's see the cumulative winnings.
Yeah, Ryan up almost 100,000.
He's at 170,000. Let's pull this back up again. So he's up 99,000 since he sat down an hour ago.
6 volts, 7 volts.
We've got Darwin and Skylar and Edward down a little bit. What it doesn't show are the people who obviously busted.
Yeah.
TK and a couple other guys.
Josh Dahlstrom.
So those are some fun stats.
Oh yeah.
You like the new look of the skin?
It does look really nice. I do like it. I like the first and last name. New Year's we were just doing first name, last initial. I do like first and last.
I do like first and last. Heidi doesn't like first and last, so she doesn't type it in.
Yeah, that does look slick with the red hexagon shape.
And there's a bunch of different ones you can choose. This is just the one I'm going to use today because I liked it.
I like it too. It feels like RPT colors.
That's why I actually picked it. Really, I was like, this is the brand. Let's go. Back to the action. We've got Darwin 3 irons with third pair and the best hand.
Ryan's got the nut low for half the pot, but not the game.
He needed a 4 for the wheel.
Yeah.
What are we up around? 80 players?
Yeah, 85
On
entries
180?
when I came in here, so probably closing in on 90. When we were a couple levels in, I think I set the line. I thought
pull
we'll
up
get
the
to
clock.
about 100. I think we can definitely clear 100 with
100 today, 100
still
tomorrow.
4 levels
200.
and a couple breaks left of entries.
What's total? 250?
Coming in, I had a number in my head that looks like it's going to be overshot. 369. We're going to need a huge Saturday to get close.
369 is a very big number.
Very big number.
For
So judging by today, assuming we get just over 100 entries, I think Saturday could be big, and I think we could close in between 250 and 300.
what's also hindered us this weekend is the weather.
The weather has not been friendly. I heard of several players that turned around last night.
They just couldn't make it.
Couldn't
There
even
was-
see.
And it wasn't that the roads were bad, but that wasn't even the worst of it.
Yeah, the visibility.
You
was really
couldn't
bad.
see.
That's 8,000.
But it cleared up a little today. We've seen a lot of new faces.
I saw Brett Kuzna
Oh, is he here?
in the field. Yep.
I haven't seen him in years.
He drove down. He said it was a rough drive down
Okay.
from Stephen, Minnesota.
Sure.
He was going to come last night and didn't.
Something's good in C5.
Skylar folds the best hand with bottom pair. And Darwin picks up another pot.
Aggression pays off for Darwin. It'll be interesting to see if him and Ryan clash in a cooler type hand because a lot of
Ooh, Darwin overtakes Ryan for
He
the
does,
chip lead
yeah.
in that hand.
So that's Scott Mandreau though in the 8 seat, 9 seat.
We are 10-handed at this. We're actually 9-handed, but we don't use the 4 seat so that the action tracker can see the action better.
So Scott Mandreau, a couple decades ago, he told me he was actually in a commercial. He played a character called Mr. Red Pencil.
Okay.
He his gimmick was he went around slashing prices for whatever store he was working for. If you see him out there, make sure to say hi to Mr. Red Pencil, Scott Mandreau. from
Red
Lewiston.
Pencil.
Mr. Red Pencil.
Is it like furniture or something?
Some
Appliances,
sort
maybe?
of appliance store where he was slashing prices, yeah.
Okay, Christian. Bottom pair. Gut shot. Backdoor flush. There it is.
That's Broadway
He's got
for
this-
2 players, Darwin
Yep.
as well.
You're going to chop it.
One's
Yeah,
got
nobody's got a feel to
15,000, 2 full.
make a better hand.
All in pop, ace 10 all in.
We'll see if a club
Pocket
comes out. That
sixes
slows
for
everything
Wade,
down.
made the call.
It's probably just
Looking
gonna
for
get
the
over
elimination.
Darwin's cutting out a lot of blue
Flat
5K
lays
chips.
down jack,
Boom,
5
Christian
deuce,
just out
2
and
clubs.
immediately it's going to be a snap call. They're going to chop it.
Queen on the turn now on ace 10 or king.
He's
We're gonna
wiggling that leg. He's
8 to diamonds, pocket sixes.
calling me. I've got the Broadway. I've got the Broadway.
What's the password?
Eric, all capital. Who's the call? It's a chop.
And this is Jess's first time on the action tracker,
Yeah.
and it is way more difficult than it looks.
Oh yeah. You gotta be on top of your
Was the
game.
river the ace of hearts?
The board does pair, which doesn't
All right.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they got it all in on the turn. There.
They did.
They did.
Yep.
How did that happen?
That's
Oh,
what
I
Travis
pressed
was
the hold
telling
button.
Jess.
He showed me it's really easy to do.
And the way we have it set up, I set it all up to be in line with the cords and the internet and everything, not thinking it was right next to the exit, so everybody's walking in and out of that door talking to her as they're walking by and distracting her.
Yep.
So she's set up for failure right now. And it's really hard, as it is, to concentrate on all this.
Right.
Galen with pocket 8, Scott Mendro, the red pencil with ace 10. Not a lot more going on. Jeremy in the small blind with king 10. Might elect to see a reasonable call. And yeah, there's nothing more reasonable than checking around having a 5-way flop. 3-5-6.
Interesting.
Darwin drops
too
top.
fair.
Lines are up. Next hand.
Galen's gotta love this flop.
And
No
1500
Eights.
with a 1500 big blind hand.
So it's just Galen and Darwin gonna tangle.
Once again, 500,
Darwin gonna pounce right
1500
away.
with a 1500 big blind hand.
I don't love that. His hand is so strong. There's no flush draw. With 5 people in pre-flop, you don't expect them to have the 7, 8, 3, 2, deuce 4.
So Galen does make the call. Scary card for both players as a 4-liner to a straight is on the board now. They go check, and we see Darwin still in the lead with the 6-5. That's a bad river card. I don't think Galen is going to pay this off.
I don't know. I mean, what's he raising with a queen on the flop? He didn't pay it.
He's only got 16K.
Yeah, I'm super suspicious if he raises me on the 3-5-6 flop, checks the turn, and then bet the queen. That queen didn't help you.
Doesn't make too much sense from this perspective.
If I had more chips, I would have paid that.
It's 5.
Lucky for him, he didn't have the chips, so he didn't have to lose them. Lines are up. 500, 1500.
Once again, 500, 1500, 1500 big blind hand. This is the start of level 9.
Yeah, just started level 9.
Re-entries, both lane entries open through.
So 30 minutes until
5 cards.
another 15-minute break, and then 3 more levels left. 1 hour dinner break.
One calls.
And then registration will find the course for flight A.
Five full. 6 full. 7 full. 1500. 9 calls and 10 checks. 3 players.
So let's see what happens here. 8-7 of diamonds for Christian, King 10 of hearts for Galen, and pocket 3s for Scott Mendro. Top pair for Galen and middle pair for Christian. Let's see if any chips go in on this flop.
2500.
Christian is going to bet the middle pair. Maybe a check raise all in from Galen looking at his stack size.
10 call. Heads up.
Just makes a call though.
10 checks.
Both players not happy to see an ace peel off on a turn.
My phone's about to die.
Okay.
Emergency.
1 bets 45. 10 calls.
So that ace is not slowing down Christian Blake. Does not deter Galen either.
10 checks.
He makes the call with the King 10. We see he does have the check mark. Not many chips left. Christian elects to just check her back and not try to put him in, turn his hand into a bluff type of thing. Galen happy to scoop that pot. He needed those chips badly.
Pocket kings
6 fold.
for Jeremy in the 7 seat.
7 raises to 3,000.
Not a lot of hands out there to put up any resistance against Jeremy here.
Do you have a box on you?
Heads up.
A square? A cube?
I do out in the, so where Melissa said the registration, there's another cable past that with a little power cord thing on there. I don't know if that's charging it or if you plug it into that strip.
One thing I hate about the iPhone, when it dies, you gotta wait an hour for it to turn back on.
Deacon's cards.
Fine.
3 fold. 5 calls, 6 calls, 7 calls, excuse me, 7 folds, 9 folds, 10 calls, 1 calls, 2 checks, 5
So it looks like 5 players going to see this flop for 1,500 apiece.
1 checks, 2 checks, 3 bets, 4,500, 6 folds.
Flop comes king, 9 deuce, 2 hearts. Top pair for Darwin. Flush draw for Ryan.
1 fold.
Gut shot for Skylar, who's out. And middle pair for Galen Robertson.
Really?
Let's see how this one plays out. Darwin with the best hand leads out. Galen and Ryan both call, and Galen smashes 3 nines on the turn.
10 calls.
Ryan's still in there with the flush draw.
2 calls.
And you know he does not like to fold. A nice smooth call there for Darwin. I like that. Ryan calls as well. Ooh, and Ryan makes a flush
5 bets,
because
12.
Galen elects to just call on the turn. Darwin's still firing though.
10 is all in. 2 calls.
And Galen moves all in when the flush gets there.
Wow!
Ryan snap calls.
5 calls, and you see all 3 hands.
And now Darwin in a tough spot. There's 2 nines on the board as well as straights and flushes.
Hearts are going to take it
He
down.
calls as well because it wasn't much more, and just like that, Galen Robertson is going to be eliminated. And Ryan Yannick,
How good does Ryan run at this feature table?
pretty good. He's over 200,000 now with that run.
203,000 chips.
Seat open on the feature table. Ball's going to be in seat 1.
So Darwin flops the best hand. Galen turns the best hand. But it's a 7-card game.
We
And
play to the
Ryan-
river here on the Rough Rider
Ryan
Poker
spikes
Tour.
that flush for a nice ball.
Oh my god!
Travis just dealing coolers. Ryan 135 big blinds. You don't see that at a final table. That's why I love streaming
Yeah.
the feature table.
They're very deep.
On day 1, level 10.
Oh, for sure.
There's a lot more poker to be had instead of just, hey, I've got 6 big blinds. I hope I have a couple of face cards I can get it in with.
Yeah.
Ryan, cards. You're good.
1 call. 2 calls. 3 checks.
Ryan's still busy stacking chips. He's got a suited queen 9.
4 players.
That's enough to put some chips in the pot with.
2 checks. 3 checks.
4-way
5
action to the
checks.
flop. And Ryan just, who didn't think he was going to flop a flush?
Yeah.
4 players. 2 checks.
He's going to go ahead and just get that check mark
Yeah.
4 ways on the fly.
And he slow plays it, like let somebody catch something.
That is part of his game. As unorthodox as he is, he definitely knows how to let players catch up.
Edward might pay him a little bit
Yeah.
now. Edward, yep.
Edward does hit an ace
Close.
to pay off that bet. Ryan shows the bad news.
Ball's good in C2.
Yeah, he checked just long enough to let Edward catch a piece. The rest of the table is not as happy as we are. Like, how does this guy have 200K? $215,000 from a 30K starting stack. That's 7 buy-ins. That's like a full table.
That's pretty good.
It's like everybody sits down at the table and just gives all their chips to Ryan and says, "Go get him, Tiger."
6 folds. 7 folds. 9 folds.
And then we have
2 calls.
a lot of nothing hands. Christian Blake in the cutoff. He's going to limp in for 1,500.
Yeah, we'll see if Ryan wants to make a heat check with the 10-3 of hearts, and he does. He does call.
A heat check. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, you know, you just play until you lose, and right now he is just winning
Riding
pot
the
after
heater.
pot.
Jack, 5. Ace Queen is out ahead, but he's going to check it. Nobody has a spade.
Look who makes the best hand on the turn. Ryan
Weird.
with the 10-3 of hearts. And he's going to bet it. And I think it's going to work.
5 calls, 1 fold. Heads up.
Darwin, though, he's going to float with the Queen-9. No
Doesn't get
improvement
there.
for him.
Now, I want to see what Darwin's plan was, because he didn't just call thinking his Queen High was the best hand.
He does lead out.
That's what I expected.
And Ryan,
And Ryan snaps him off with a 3. And Darwin's like, that was supposed to work.
Yeah.
He just smiles at himself. That was supposed to work.
Man. When it's going good, it's
Yeah.
going good for Ryan Yannick.
I like Darwin's plan.
I do as well.
He had a plan. He stuck to the plan. Ryan did not do his part of the plan,
Yeah.
but I like Darwin's side of
When
it.
you got a mountain of chips and you're winning pot after pot, your confidence is at an all-time high, and Ryan is definitely not afraid to make a hero call there for a tiny percentage of his stack if he's
8K,
wrong.
yeah, it was nothing. So what's that called? The heat check is
So, well, on NBA Jam, you know, you make 2 in a row, you're heating up. You make 3, you're on fire. Ryan is definitely on fire
on
right
fire.
now. So we'll see if anybody can cool him off.
Scott with the KK, Ryan with a Queen Deuce of clubs,
Yeah.
Darwin with the Ace 7 of clubs.
35.
We have a new player at the table.
Doug Yank did.
1 calls.
Speaking of, I better go look at my next future table.
All right. So Scott raises the 2 kings. Christian with king queen in tough shape comes along. Ryan with the queen deuce of clubs. If you thought he was folding, you would have been sadly mistaken. He comes along. Darwin 3 irons, ace 7 of clubs. Sure, why not?
I'm sorry, 6 calls.
Skyler getting a good price with that piece of cheese, 7-3 in his hand. So he calls as well. Let's see what happens here. Jack, 6, 3, 2 clubs. Flush draw for Darwin. Flush draw for Ryan. Scott still with the overpair. Darwin leads out for 8K, and Scott, I think he's going to raise at a minimum. He may go all in.
Ryan might be cooled off now. He's got the Queen High flush against Darwin's Ace High flush.
2 calls. 3
So Scott just smooth calls, which is going to definitely let Ryan come along with the inferior flush draw.
Oh!
And that is going to cool down Ryan Yannick.
This is going to be big.
But Scott with the 2 kings, we'll see if he can get away with any chips left.
No, I think he called on the flop. Playing scared is not meant to be a bad thing, but he just knows he doesn't want to get in trouble. And when the club comes,
Yeah,
I
he
would have
makes the
expected
call.
him to get away from it. But 8K, oh, there it is.
And
All
Ryan
in.
all in. Darwin beats him in the pot.
Wow.
And now back to Scott, who's got 2 kings, saying,
Now it's
what
an
the heck
easy
just
fold.
happened to me?
Now it's an easy fold. Oh,
Wow.
Now it's a really easy fold. Darwin just flipped up his hand.
Oh my gosh.
Scott, what are you doing? You saw the ace high flush. Well, I guess I fold. Of course you do.
Just gonna double check that
Oh,
he doesn't
what a
have
cooler.
2 king of clubs in his hand. And Ryan just lost the biggest pot of the tournament.
Oh,
a final table size pot
285,000.
on day 1.
Oh, that hurts.
Darwin, 3 irons.
We said they
Cooler
were going
City.
to clash. They were 1 and 2.
They did clash in a monster. 285 now for Darwin. Ryan Yannick still has 100.
Yeah.
Not quite 100 big blinds anymore, but 105,000.
Which is still a monster stack.
Wow,
They're going to count it up. I'm going to go get pictures of the next table.
sounds good.
123,300.
And Travis in the box deals the cooler of the day, pot of the day. Still counting this bad boy up.
Button's good in C5.
So there you see about 13 minutes and change until these players will go on a 15-minute break. And we will bring in our third group of feature table players for the day to round out round out the registration period. They'll play levels 10 through 12, come back from a dinner break, and then we will bring you another batch and figure out just how many players they will be playing down to. Top 15% make it to day 2 and into the money.
2 calls, 3 folds, 5 calls, 6 calls, 7 checks, 5 wins.
So Ryan Yannick going to pick up the Jerry Sorrells special, the house hand. Good old 10-7. Not much there for him on that flop. Doug Yankton out in front with top pair.
10 bets, 3,000, 2 calls.
Skylar Sands got a pair of queens. Jeremy Insrud with the 9-high flush draw. Darwin had flopped middle pair, still stacking chips as he will be for a while after that pot.
7 checks. 10 bets, 3,000, 2 folds.
2 pair on the river for Doug Yankton. Let's see how he wants to proceed. He bets 3,000.
7 folds.
Darwin
Good
getting
at
full
C6.
here. Jeremy Bricks the flush draw. Ryan just had that look like, I can't believe I just lost that.
All in pot here. Tico flopped a set of 6s, but
But if you're gonna
Chase
play a
Larry
style
flopped
like
a
Ryan
nut
plays,
straight. Tico leads the board to pair
high
here.
risk,
Both
high
have
reward.
Steve. Turns a deuce, he needs a 6, 5, 8, or a deuce on the river. 8 on the river, full house for Tico. Good for the double up.
10 calls. 1 folds, 2 raises to 30, excuse me, 4,500. 45. 3 folds, 5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds, 9 folds, 10 calls. Heads up.
So Ryan Yannick going to show the aggression with the 6-4 offsuit.
2 bets 7,000, 10 folds.
He gets called by Doug Yankton.
One's going to seat 7.
Neither player flops a thing, but Ryan with the aggression factor. 6 high is good for the pot after a healthy 7K bet.